And that's how the theme song goes. Hi, welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, if you didn't know, Chad White. This is the premier podcast for C+. Oh, God. I was doing pretty decently for, what's it called? C+comedy.com. It's a website. Go there. That's a tag. Anyway, let's get right to it. Just got back from seeing the movie Coco, Pixar's Coco. It's a fantastic film. A little backstory, of course. I love seeing movies alone. You got it. You know it. This is great. I love seeing movies during the day where it's cheaper. You know it. You love it. You got it. Great. Walked in. I was about 15. I think I was about 20 minutes late for the movie. I thought, you know what? I'm going to miss 5 minutes in the movie. It started at 12:20. I got there at 12:45. I live 5 minutes away. It took me that long to get there because I was just playing around. And then I get to the movie. I sit down. I notice that even they're not even 5 minutes into the short that comes before the movie, which is wonderful. I feel great. I just slapped my knee very hard just to signify how great I felt. And you know what? It was a short I didn't even want to see. It was about the Frozen character Olaf and him trying to find Christmas themed ideas for Christmas and take them back to Elsa and Anna, who were also in the movie. You know what? I didn't care. I didn't care about missing it. It's fine. Whatever. Who cares? I only missed 5 minutes, and it felt like it was 20 minutes long, and which is not good for a short. A short shouldn't. It was as if I was back in the first grade, and the first Pokemon movie had come out, and there was a there was a short in front of it where Ash and Misty and them. I think that's what I'm talking about. Pokemon, the first movie. The movie. Yeah, the first movie. Okay. Really, I need to not go off on tangents. But there was a little short film in front of it called Pikachu's Vacation, where Ash, Misty, and Brock dropped off all of their Pokemon to hang out at this resort. And Pikachu, Togepi, Bulbasaur, I'm reading this from Wikipedia. I don't know this off the top of my head. And Squirtle were met up with a bunch of bullies, Raichu, Cubone, Meryl, and Snubbull. And they had to deal with those two. Pikachu's Vacation, I'm going to guess, I haven't looked this up yet, so I'm going to guess that it is around 20 minutes long. It turns out wait a minute. Okay, so there's a YouTube video. No, all right, so there's a Vimeo, someone uploaded it on Vimeo. It's 20 minutes, 26 seconds. 20 minutes and 26 seconds. That is too long for an intro, which means that the movie in total, the Pikachu, this is the one with Mewtwo in it. So it's Pikachu's Vacation is 20 minutes. The movie in total is 75 minutes. That means the movie is 55 minutes long. What kind of a world? That's a strange thing about 1998 or when did this come out? Yeah, 1999 when it came out in America. I assume. I don't know. That's very strange. That is unheard of today. No movie would come out in theaters and it have a 40-minute prelude before the 20-minute movie. and then also in Pokemon movie 2000 there was one that was Pikachu again, Pikachu's rescue adventure, because Togepi fell down a dark hole or something like that. And reading this again off of the Wikipedia, of course, because I don't know this off the top of my head, and Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Meryl, Venonat, and Psyduck, that's too many Pokemon, go and try to save Togepi. And that movie is 82 minutes. And let's see, Pikachu's rescue adventure is, I started talking about Coco. So Pikachu's rescue adventure is 14 minutes in total. So at least they learned their lesson. But anyway, there you go. That's it. Anyway, so whatever this beginning movie was, what was this? The prelude to it? I don't know. Anyway, whatever that was too long. And it felt long. It felt like I was watching Frozen 2. So there that is. But anyway, it was good. The Coco was really good. It was as big and as loud as the movie looks. If you watch a trailer for it, and as big and as loud as it looks, as big and loud as you think it's going to be, it's a very intimate movie. But the world feels lived in. It was wonderful. The writer, Adrian Molina, did a really good job. He was a storyboard artist on Toy Story 3. and he did some additional screenplay material for Monsters University and The Good Dinosaur. Good job for, and he's 32 years old. My God. Wow. And he's of Mexican descent, thank God, because I was really hoping that I saw Lee Unkirk's name in front of the. He was directed by him, and I thought, ooh, they let a white man direct this. Oh boy, no offense. I was just saying they made a point of getting a whole Hispanic cast. Why not get some Hispanic crew? Anyway. And the boy did a good job. Anthony Gonzalez. He's going to be in another live action. He's going to be in his first live action movie coming out soon. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, he's a good kid. Very funny. He did a really good job with his voice acting. And everybody else in the movie did a wonderful, great job. Benjamin Bratt, Gail Garcia Bernal, Renee Victor, Edward James Olmos was in it. Oh boy, Edward James Olmos, and just a whole cast of really funny people. I don't remember John Ratzenberger's character, so we'll have to, I was on the lookout for him because I love seeing John Ratzenberger pop up. I think he's the only white guy. Cheech Marin, of course, was in it, and Gabriel Iglesias. Oh my gosh, he was a cameo. Anyway, all right, let's move on to also saw Justice League. The day that the last episode came out, episode 32. Of the Constitutionalist podcast. Is a podcast goes into it. It's a great. I liked it a lot. I of course, I'm very lenient when it comes. If you listen to this, and I pray you have, I'm very lenient on movies and TV shows. I'm not as critical as a lot of other people are in the world. I enjoy the DC movies. This past Thanksgiving, which happened literally 5 days ago, I bought Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad on Blu-ray. Suicide Squad, the extended cut on Blu-ray, both for $6. And you know what? I have the digital copies, and I can't wait to watch both of those movies again. I've been wanting to see Suicide Squad again. I understand. I know it's not the best, and I'm not looking for it to be the greatest movie in the world. Marvel has its fair share of crap. Civil War, which did not do the comic justice. My God. I like the first Avengers. The second Avengers, disliked. As much as I love Thor, the first movie is pretty slow, and this third one really stands out among the pack. And Spider-Man is, as much as I like that, it's still kind of annoying that it's about Spider-Man. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, my vendetta against that movie. If you go back a couple episodes, my God, I think that is the worst superhero movie. And then I think Howard the Duck is streets ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I hate Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Doctor Strange is boring. I hope Black Panther's good because he'll be the first black superhero. Well, no, never mind. Nope, no, that's Steel. Shaq Steel in the early 90s. Steel is a comic book character who wears a giant metal suit, like a suit of armor, and then he also fights with a giant metal hammer. The only time Steel has been done right in film form, and media that's not a comic book, is the cartoon show Justice League. So if you want to see some real superhero actions, I suggest you go watch the Justice League cartoon and X-Men Evolution and Marvel's Avengers Assemble. I think that no, don't watch that one. Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Spectacular Spider-Man, Static Shock, any Batman cartoon, the Green Lantern CG cartoon. It looks ugly, but it's a great story. Superman cartoons. It's so bad. Yeah, see, look at that. You got a dearth of good comic book material out there, and then people go and choose to hate the DC movies because they're too dark and it's bleak and it's nothing. The superheroes are supposed to be happy and jokey. No, come on, let these movies have their own worlds. Tim Burton's Batman movies are so wonderful because they're colorful and they're strange and they're gothic, and Christopher Nolan's movies are great because his Batman movies are great because they're dark, and by the end he just didn't care anymore. I guarantee it. Dark Knight Rises is the most nonsensical Batman story. And I remember not liking it a lot for some reason. I own the trilogy on Blu-ray, and I don't. It's why can't we just enjoy things? That being said, I like Justice League a lot. I will put it below Batman vs Superman. There's something about Batman vs Superman. It's so clunky and and the way it just expedites a story is the extended cut is too long, but I love it so much. Justice League was great. I'm glad they put all those characters together, and now, sadly though, in a couple of months, by the time I assume the Avengers. What's the third Avengers movie? Infinity Wars. I assume that trailer is going to come out with the new Star Wars movie in a couple of weeks. Oh boy, and I hate Star Wars so much, and I assume that trailer is going to be compared to all of the DC movies, and people are going to say, "Oh, DC can't even make a movie that's comparable to a 2-minute trailer. Go do Star Wars," and people are just going to berate and make fun of Justice League. I think it's fine. I don't care. You can only say so much. Moving on. Also, last week was The Problem with Apu. I would say it's a documentary comedy special, led by Hari Kondabolu, and I almost forgot his name, Hari Kondabolu, and he's a great comedian. Basically, the gist of it is on True TV. The gist of it is that Apu Nahasapeemapetilon. Jesus Christ, Chad, you are a Simpsons fan. Apu Nahasapeemapetilon is not a good character for Indian Americans for Indians, period. And he should be not on the TV show The Simpsons anymore. And he's just not. And I have never sat down to watch a documentary and agreed immediately as soon as I press play on my DVR. It doesn't make sense to have. And I understand this. The thesis is that The Simpsons was created 30 years ago when they didn't have these any huge famous Indian American actors, but now there are so many out there, and it's just kind of, and it's not disheartening. It's what is it? It's very racist. It's and the issue is it's just having Hank Azaria provide the voice for this Indian archetype, this stereotype archetype. It's a stereotype that just doesn't paint the Indian people in a good light. And so in the documentary, it's only 40 minutes long, so I don't want to say too much about it and make you go watch it. Hari spoke to basically everybody who almost all of the famous Indian American famous people, all of them. He spoke to millions and millions and tens of millions of them. So he spoke to, he commented, he quoted Kumail Nanjiani, spoke to Cal Penn, I believe that's his name, and he spoke to Aparna Nancherla and just Hassan Minaj, just essentially anybody who you might have seen on television, and these are all huge, or to me huge, because a lot of them are comedians, but a lot of these are huge people that you have seen before and you've heard them speak, and it's just it sucks that they have to be represented in the biggest cartoon like this, and you can, and now if you look at this, and I love The Simpsons so much, and you know how much I love The Simpsons, but if you look at that show, there's not just in the past few years, Kevin Michael Richardson is a black voice actor, and he's been getting more play on The Simpsons because he just has such a versatile voice, and his voice if you hear it is really deep and it's great, but it sucks because basically the last year he's been playing all these black characters, whereas the person who plays Carl and Dr. Hibbert and the other two black characters, I assume, it's just not fun to see. So, and then even the Asian characters, they're not even voiced. They're all every character on The Simpsons is voiced by a white person, and it's not good to see that. So go watch that documentary, The Problem with Apu. It was on True TV. You can buy it right now on Google Play, probably mostly iTunes, Vudu, I assume all the rest, Amazon Prime. Just go watch it. It's really good. Also, I saw Lady Bird. Lady Bird is a great movie starring Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf, and it's an indie movie that's for sure going to get so many awards. And I wish there was an Oscar comedy category, but I guarantee that the studio A24 is going to try to put this up as I mean, for the Golden Globes, it can be comedy, but you know what? I don't think they'll nominate the entire film, but I know at least Saoirse and Laurie will get supporting and leading actress nominations for all the awards, but mostly the Oscars and the Globes. So go watch it. It's a great film. It's when I saw this movie with a very good friend of mine and her sister, and I remember it's just 2 days ago. She asked me when I thought the movie was about. And initially I said it was just it's a coming of age film about a girl growing up and a year in her life, and something along those lines. But that's probably not what it's about. I think it's not a character study, but a familial study about a girl and her mother. And it's the two of them. There's one line near the end of the film where Saoirse asks, and so basically the relationship between Lady Bird and her mother is that Lady Bird wants to go across the country, go to school across the country. She has all these big dreams of being something big, but her grades and her mother and her school and her town of Sacramento, California say otherwise. They say literally her mother says otherwise. She says and so the line is that she says, "I don't believe in you. Like I don't think you're going to do something big." And that just kind of, she says that maybe twice in the movie, and it just sends a spike through Lady Bird's heart. But there's one line near the end where Lady Bird's getting ready for prom, picking out a prom dress, and she asks her mother, "Do you like me?" And then Laurie Metcalf goes, well, first of all, she takes seconds to answer. She goes, "Yeah, I love you." And she goes, No, but do you like me?" And which really, it makes a lot of sense. It's you don't have to. You as a parent, you're forced to love your children no matter what. This is essentially law. You don't, you can get in trouble. You can go to jail for not treating your children right, but you don't have to like them. You just, and it's really shown that Laurie Metcalf might not really like Lady Bird, and it's sad. It's a comedy more than it's a drama, but it's a very sad movie and a realization about real parenting in two different people, and you got this family fighting about money, and then you got this girl who's not fitting in a Catholic school, and it's essentially her being sent to this Catholic school is costing the family a ton of money, and they can afford to do anything. So it's just I don't know, it just rings true to if you live that kind of life, then you're definitely gonna understand. But I don't want to talk about it too much. I want to move on because that's kind of sad. I want to move on to Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie. If you're young, if you're a millennial who loves watching content and binge watching the content, this is so stupid. It's an inside joke between me. I hate saying those words. If you of course you know who Hey Arnold is. It's a football-headed boy, and it's a very popular show that you're not special for liking and remembering because it only went off the air maybe 10 years ago. Hey Arnold, it was canceled. It ended on its run on Nickelodeon. It had a movie about Hey Arnold and his boys and his friends. Hey Arnold, I just call him Hey Arnold. Him and his friends saving their neighborhood from being developed over, and then the show ended with the last episode of Arnold finding his parents' journal. And his parents were travelers, and his parents went around the world, and then they left, and then they never came back. And Arnold lives in a boarding house with his grandpa and his grandmother in the city. But the show ended with him finding the journal, and then what was supposed to happen was there was supposed to be another movie that went to theaters that was called The Jungle Movie, and Harold would find his parents. But that never happened because I guess the first movie didn't perform as well, which is why Doug's first movie was, I assume, supposed to get a sequel. That didn't do too hot. And so the only movies that did well for Nickelodeon were the Rugrats movies, which is why they got 3 freaking movies, except for Rugrats Go Wild went straight to DVD. I know that because I bought it. Did it go straight to DVD? I don't know. Anyway, and so this movie was to follow up on that, and most of the cast is back. Of course, the people who voiced Arnold and Gerald are replaced by real little boys. But everybody else is pretty much back. Helga Bataki's voice, Grandpa's voice, which is Dan Castellaneta, and everybody else. For what it's worth, I really like the movie. I really like the first, I assume, 80 minutes of the movie, where the Arnold and his friends, they're quickly bust out of the city. You get 10 minutes of all these characters that you miss seeing. I guess we kind of got enough of them. But Oscar's voice actor died. I remember that. I remember hearing that. So I understand why he wasn't in it too much. But you get bust out of the city quick, and Arnold and his classmates are on this summer trip to help people raise these houses in South America. And then you quickly get the story that somebody tricked Arnold and his class to get in there, and Arnold needs to wake up I think I just ruined the entire movie. Arnold needs to find this indigenous people, and then turns out his parents are there, and then blah. It's not about the ending. It's about how you get there. Okay, so if you didn't see it, then too bad. Arnold finds his parents. That's the thesis of the movie. So anyway, Arnold finds his parents, but the last, I would say, 7 minutes of the movie's it was 2 hours on television, so I'm assuming it's 87 minutes in total. The last 7 minutes of the movie are so rushed. I understand that it's a cartoon, and I understand that they already had a series finale, and I know that they're not gonna let you sit with things for too long, but this boy was rushed. The not only was the epilogue rushed, but the climax was rushed. the falling action was rushed. It's crazy how you think you can get away with this. The people who grew up with this show are going to be over the near and almost to their 30s now. You know that they want to see some falling action and some epilogue stuff, guys. Come on. Craig, whatever your name is, I forgot his name. So I don't understand how you couldn't just write a couple more pages of they get back to the city. So essentially the problem is they get back to the city. Arnold wakes up and he thinks everything was a dream. He runs downstairs and he sees that the boarding house people are complaining to Grandpa and Grandma for not cooking food. Then Arnold's parents come out and they have this breakfast for them. And Jesus Christ, I need to not. Why? That was a horn from outside. I just wish I had a studio or something. But anyway, Arnold's parents, they make him breakfast, and then Arnold's parents are like, okay, hey, let's go on an adventure today. Let's go to the museum. It'll be an adventure. And then Arnold's like, no, it's the first day of school, guys. And so he goes to school. They walk with him, and then he goes, no, you guys can't come inside. I'll be out. I'll be out around 3:00. And I go, okay, we'll be right here waiting. And then the movie ends, and that is the ending of the series that ended almost 15 years ago. It's a movie that, not almost 15 years ago, I'd say 10 years ago. The issue for me is just, you couldn't just let us have some more time with Arnold's parents who were in the last 3 minutes of the movie. You just can't let us sit there, show us life with Arnold and his parents. We've been waited so long. Why couldn't we just see just a little bit more? That's like watching, I'm going to go back to Batman vs. Superman. That's like, that's as if a movie which pretty much everyone hates except for me. It's as if Clark, if we didn't spend enough time with Batman and Superman fighting, the entire movie, Batman hates Superman, and then we get to this fight with Batman and Superman, and then Batman goes, I don't kind of want to fight you, and then he just leaves. And that's the end of the fight. Yeah, you can bring up them saying Martha or whatever, but that's I would rather see 10 more Martha scenes in 10 more DC movies than I'd rather see another ending like this. I don't want to see Nickelodeon bring back All Real Monsters and the monsters and with not graduating scaring school. It's just dumb. Just spend some time with your characters. Don't be afraid. Sam Simon on what's it called? WTF with Mark Maron. He said something that really stood out to me in his podcast. His rules. I wrote this down. His rules are one story. Man, on a roll, and I hit the desk. 1, story above all. 2, don't be afraid of the quiet moments. And 3, love your characters. It seems that the creator, Craig Bartlett of Hey Arnold, only likes to love his characters, and he just didn't follow the first 2 rules. Don't be afraid of the quiet moments, which is why Coco is so good, because the entire movie is a quiet moment. Even the big bombastic scenes where songs are playing, it's a nice, intimate moment. And that's what you got to do, Craig. And you should know that by now. You've been wanting to make this movie for years. The ending felt rushed, is what I wrote in my notes. Now let's get on to the main topic. Don't have much time. The main topic is the specialness of the Chris Gethard Show. This week is the season finale of the Chris Gethard Show, and its first season on True TV. Prior to that, it was on Fusion for 2 years in half-hour increments, and then before that, it was on public access in New York only, but episodes were uploaded to YouTube, and so you can watch the entire, which I suggest you do, is watch a lot of the episodes. The entire archive is on youtube.com/the Chris Gethard Show, and you can watch pretty much 150 some odd episodes of the public access show. You can watch all of the episodes from the Fusion show. I don't know what's going to happen with the True TV episodes, but they've been wonderful thus far. And the Chris Gethard Show, if you don't know, is a variety show, essentially a variety / talk show hybrid, hosted by Chris Gethard. And the basically the thought process behind it is it's a show where anything can happen, things can get weird, and it's wonderful, it's beautiful, it's a hipstery show. It's for the freaks and geeks of the world, if I may steal Judd Apatow's show title. It's just such a good show, and I love it so much. And I never really thought I was going to like it, but it's just a show where anybody can be themselves. Where it's not a show for it's not a show for the jocks and the popular kids. It's a show for the person who, this is I think in the first episode back on True TV, I saw they have this theme song that's played by Chris Gethard's wife in the band called the LLC, and they play in the show all the time. After a countdown with the entire audience, which is great. And everybody sings the song. People get up and dance, and it's wonderful. And I saw this guy in the audience, and he was just headbanging along, and I thought, I will never be that happy. That guy is the happiest person in the room right there, because he is headbanging, and he doesn't care. And it's live TV. And the best thing is live. And you can call in, and you can be a part, and there's themes every episode, and you can Skype in, and you can be a part of the theme. Like, what do you want written on Chris Gethard's tombstone? What do you want people to remember you by? What's the dumbest thing you've ever done? And it's just, oh my God, it's such a wonderful show. And that headbanging person is just so great. And then they have special guests. They have Seth Meyers, John Oliver, and Method Man, and then Talib Kweli and Hannibal Buress and Ellie Kemper, John Hamm, Pete Holmes. I'm just gonna keep naming people that just keep popping in my head. Diddy was in an episode. Diddy was in an episode, and that's such a good episode. Oh my God, such a good episode. There's a dumpster episode that you should only just type in Chris Gethard dumpster episode and watch it in full, and then get back to me and tell me if you loved it or not, because I think that is a perfect episode to get started on, because that is the peak of Chris Gethard, and that one's with Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer, and it's wonderful, and I love it so much. And then also on the show there are characters like Vacation Jason. He's the single greatest. I love late night, and I love late night characters like Conan's masturbating bear and other characters in that pantheon of characters, or the It clown, the clown that Conan's been doing from It. With Andre Deuce-Boucher, who I interviewed early on in C+ Comedy's tenure, and so anyway, Vacation Jason is along those lines. But he's so simple. It's just a guy who named Jason who loves to vacation. And it's so great, and it sounds so stupid, and it is. And Chris hates him, and I love that character so much. He's such a cool character. And then there's Connor Ratliff, who does Man on the Street segments and sometimes character pieces. And then there's Chris's assistant, which I think is this year. And Chris's assistant is this nerdy little black kid who's talking about how much Chris abuses him, and it's real, and it just sounds so dark. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I suggest you go watch that show. It's wonderful. And you know what? I'm gonna put Chris. This is gonna be. I didn't have a favorite comedian written down. So Chris, this is for you, buddy. This is just the specialness of Chris Gethard Show is just so wonderful. I love it so much. So I would suggest go watch the Dumpster episode, go watch the Diddy episode, and go watch the John Hamm wrestling episode. It's just so good. So good. Chris Gethard he struck gold with this show that is just built for anybody who can be described as an other. Some people who can't be put into a ring with people who don't fit in. That's what this show is for. It's really good. Urge you to watch it. And the season finale is this week, so all 7 of the people who are listening to this, just watch it. It's a great show. I love it so much. Before we go, I'm just gonna mention all of the things I bought on Black Friday. I bought on top of buying, I would say, on top of buying Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad, I bought about 8 more DVDs, 8 more Blu-rays. Which include, I'm going to pick up the mic for this, which include Lego Batman and Neighbors, The Big Sick, all these movies I love and I've already seen. Mike and Dave Meet Wedding Dates, The House, go watch that movie, it's wonderful. The House, I think that, and some other ones that I can't find because I have Trainwreck. Yep. And then this morning, I said, all right, I'm just going to buy one more game. I'm going to buy a video game and then that'll be it. I ate breakfast and I bought the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition on Blu-ray. $25. Guys, that's like 4 days worth of video for $25. I had to get it. I had to jump at the chance to get it. So I'm glad that's going to come on Thursday. And then, the night of is coming on tomorrow. On Tuesday, the day this episode comes out. Oh my God, I bought too many movies. And I'm a guy who just has now one job that's still a part-time job. So we'll see what happens after that. And what else did I buy? I bought How to Be Single. I bought The Martian. These are all digital movies I bought. I bought How to Be Single, The Martian, Edge of 17. So many movies I've seen before, but that I love so much that it's hard not to own them. Let's see. Yep, that's all the digital ones I bought. So, and every single one of those is part of the Movies Anywhere program. You know what Movies Anywhere is? You can watch your movies from certain studios anywhere. So if you would, go watch an episode of News Time that I wrote and produced and shot. Speaking of News Time, you can watch this week's episode of News Time. It's about how ad people are doing what routes they're taking to get ads in front of you, even in a streaming age where people don't really watch ads anymore. So you can go ahead and watch that episode, and then you can, and it's a really good episode. Also in the episode, I talk about Nielsen ratings and how they got Netflix's not streaming rights, but the streaming numbers, the ratings for Stranger Things this newest season. So 15.8 million people watched the first episode, which is nothing to scoff at in an age where only 7 million people watch an episode of Modern Family, which is still better than how many people watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is 200,000, which is mind-blowing. Same thing for Insecure. 200,000 people only watch that show. And I'm one of those. I feel good. I feel real special. Also included, you can go, if you like this, you can go to the website, www.cpluscomedy.com, where we've got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, other good comedy bits, the only I can remind you with. Big changes are coming. Big changes. Oh, I forgot to talk about Red Oaks. I just finished Red Oaks. It's a wonderful show. Go watch it. It's on Amazon, and this last season was only 6 episodes long, but it's such a fantastic show that I cannot talk enough about. But this episode's really going very long, and I don't. You know what? Screw it. I don't care. No one listens to this crap anyway. Red Oaks is a show on Amazon about, in the late 80s, about a kid who spends his summers working at a fancy... I guess, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? They have tennis courts there and a pool. Oh boy, it's a country club, and he works there, and he falls for one of the most prestigious members' daughter, and then they date, and then something happens, and then they break up, and then he moves to this city, and he decides he wants to become a director. That's his goal. And his best friend dates this really hot pool attendant. What are those things called? Lifeguards. He does really hot. And then Richard Kine's in it, and it's all one. It's such a good show. It's such a very good show. It's a coming of age film in TV show form. And Steven Soderbergh was part of that process in creating the show. I think he helped create the show. And so it's a wonderful show. I think I would venture to say it's I'd probably say I think it's my favorite streaming show. So out of Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix, it's definitely my favorite streaming show. So you should give it a shot. It's only 26 episodes long. Nobody watched it except for me and 26 other people. So go see it. Anyway, yeah, if you want to hear me talk more about that stuff, watch. I did the website. Oh, you can follow us on Twitter at C+ Comedy. Follow me on Twitter at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Continue listening to this podcast. Go if you want to see more videos. If you want to see me actually do this in a in a better sense, wherein I am. You can see my face and I'm using real words. You can go to youtube.com/C+Comedy to see more News Time. News Time is the premier news show for C+ Comedy. It's a show where I pick one topic and I go and I talk about it. But it's I write a script and everything. It's produced. It's really good. I promise you guys. So thank you for listening. You have your assignments. Go do your things. Okay. Bye.